How are y'all doing? Apologize for the delay. We just got off a call. What I'm going to do is share with you exactly what's going on with essential workers, the citizenship for essential workers. Okay, I know this is what a lot of y'all have been asking about and wondering what the heck is going on because it's taking freaking forever. So, uh, you may be familiar with this. There is a proposal, it's the same proposal that you may have heard about before. There's already a proposal filed with the House of Representatives. It's the numbers HR 1909. Okay, this is filed by a representative out of Texas, actually, because I live in Texas, Joaquin Castro. Okay, you may have heard of him. He did. Actually, it's his brother that tried to run for president. But so he introduced this bill back in March 16th. Now, you might be wondering, well, okay, it's been a while. There's not much progress, right? But in fact, there is some progress. Maybe not in terms of it passing or going through the next steps, unfortunately, but they have offered some occupations, some jobs of who could be counted possibly in terms of the who is an essential worker. Okay. All right. So I'm going to see here. So first, let me see if I can share the screen here. There's a lot of tabs open. Okay, so as I'm about to share it with you, the obvious one might be that you might already know is healthcare, right? Because of COVID and a pandemic, everyone knows that at least healthcare is included. The other thing is emergency response. All right, that's included. Let me pull up on the screen for you so you can see it for yourselves. And all right, there we go. So here, healthcare is A, emergency response, C, sanitation. A lot of the questions we get is, what about people who are, for example, Uber drivers or Lyft drivers? Are they included? I did see something about logistics. Okay, so here we are. Let's see, and also childcare. Letter K includes childcare. I think you can see it. Yeah, it looks large enough. Let me know if you cannot. Let me know in the comments. We'll increase the sizing if you need to. But anyways, friends, I want to share with you, in case this is your first time checking in with us, please subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe at the button below. And I want to share with you our phone number here down on the bottom. But I want to go into this, okay? Even fish, poultry, meat processing work, because you may have heard, of course, early last year, for example, the Tyson factory shut down for some time because of people testing positive. I'm honestly surprised by some of these, hotel and retail. So back when this bill was introduced, I believe back in March this year, they didn't have the text of the proposal available. So now we have it here. They also include farm workers, agricultural work, commercial and residential landscaping. When it comes to that, thank you so much for y'all that are landscapers. It really helps me save time and hire you to do that work, because then I can focus on these videos. So I greatly appreciate it. I do see some comments. Sam, nice to see you. You have a logistics company and you bring drivers yourself. Okay. So I don't know if that means you have some difficulty hiring drivers. I've heard of that. I've had some clients. I do have a couple clients who have a logistics company as well. And they've told me it's difficult hiring drivers. So they've had to try to immigrate drivers from a different country. So if you're able to find drivers here in America who do not have status, this could help them. All right. We also have included natural disaster recovery related to also disaster reconstruction. Let me pull up the screen again here so you can see it. All right, there we go. Oh, wow. All right. So because I've had a lot of comments, a question about home healthcare. This is included. Letter M. That's great. Family care. Yeah, that includes childcare again. Manufacturing, warehousing, transportation, logistics. There you go, Sam. There it is. We found it for you. Janitorial work, laundromat, dry cleaning. Whoa. Now that I am surprised. It says dry cleaning operators. I'm wondering why they say operators and not just people that work there. So hopefully they define what operators mean, because the first glance at it, that makes me think like the business owner, but really it's the people that are working as an employee in those dry cleaners. Which I'm really surprised that's included. Not to take anything away from someone, but I'm surprised that's in there because I heard not too many people used dry cleaning services, right, during pandemic, because not many people are going to the workplace. Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea. What I wanted to look up for you also is about the waivers, right? We just had a consultation. Someone had a question about whether they're going to waive the 3-year bar, 10-year bar, and the permanent bar. Okay, so there is talk about them including that. So that'd be great. It did mention that in this proposal, that they could waive inadmissibility under specific sections. So the $1 million question is this realistic? Okay, so I'm going to go all the way back up to the top. We'll talk about the crimes in a second, but want to go back up to the top and share with you, is this realistic? Okay. Co-sponsors. There's a tab here that shows co-sponsors. There is 69 co-sponsors. And you know what? I'm just going to do a control find and see if there's an R for Republican. See if there's any Republican sponsors here. Okay, goodness. I don't think I see any Republicans. Nope, there's no Republicans. So that's our answer, right? That's my concern about whether this is going to be realistic. I sure hope it's going to happen. But right now, so far, the update is it's at the House of Representatives. They refer to the Subcommittee for Immigration and Citizenship. Okay, and that was May 18th. So less than a couple weeks ago. All right. So that is some update, okay? Because the last time it was really in the news was early May. We want to kind of give you an idea what's going on about this and what the actual occupation list, okay? That went from the letter A all the way to, I believe, at least letter K, probably N. So it's quite extensive. There's also a proposal, very similar proposal on a Senate side, okay? So that's a good thing. That bill number is, let's see, I'm looking at Senator Warren's page, and they mentioned, by the way, that this can potentially help 5 million people. But because how expansive these occupations are, it's a long list of different occupations, some that I did not think could be included, then I think it could help more than 5 million people. They could be wrong on the estimation. Honestly, I don't know how they come up with the estimation, but that would be great for a lot of y'all. So let's see here. Let me pull up this other tab to show. But the co-sponsors on a Senate bill is Alex Padilla out of California, Elizabeth Warren out of Massachusetts. You may have heard of Elizabeth Warren because she tried to run for president. And let's see. So it's going to give a pathway to, as you could expect it, even though it says citizenship in the the title, it's really also first to become a permanent resident, okay? And then after that, then you can apply to become a citizen. All right. Let's see. I will try my best to get to some of your questions. I just want to go through our presentation first, of course. And there's a lot of people. I know some of y'all watching are also considered essential workers yourself. So thank you for watching. Please also share this video with your friends. We definitely want to notify as many people as possible that this has some progress on it, because the House Committee of Immigration and Citizenship is reviewing it, and it started reviewing it the past couple of weeks. So it's very important for you to know this. Let's see, what else can I answer right now? Okay, so the big thing here is that they're trying to include information about the waiver of inadmissibility because there's a lot of people. I just spoke to someone in a consultation and they said that they they have the permanent bar. Or at least they didn't think they had a permanent bar, but they had an idea and we confirmed it with them, right? So if you're not familiar, if you have lived outside America for more than 1 year without any kind of status, maybe you enter America with a visa, but if you left, okay, that triggers the 10-year restriction, the 10-year bar. So that's if you lived in America without status for 1 year or more. If it's between 180 days and 1 year, which is pretty rare, but if it's between 180 days and 1 year, then it's a 3-year restriction, okay? But it doesn't trigger until you leave America. So of course, people that talk with us and they haven't left America, we tell them, hey, sit tight, do not leave. I know it's tough when, for example, family members pass away in your birth country. Very tough, but it will have severe consequences if you leave America. So, but anyway, this person ended up leaving because I believe they had some health issues, unfortunately. And then they came back into America and that was without a visa. So that triggers the permanent bar. And the law right now is you can't adjust status during permanent bar unless you wait 10 years, total of 10 years. Usually there's a waiver, right? But you can't do that until after 10 years. And even after you wait 10 years, there's two things most people don't know is those 10 years technically have to be outside America. And the second thing is it has to, you have to have a qualifying relative. So most people have a U.S. citizen spouse or a resident spouse, for example, or parent. But there's a lot of things to consider, okay? If you haven't talked to a lawyer, but you think you're eligible and you're just researching this on your own, give us a call. We can confirm it for you. We're here to point you in the right direction. Our number is down below, the 346-330-5888, or you're welcome to fill out our intake form in the description box below. It starts with Ting Law. Too good here, so it's kind of on and off here, the signal. Sorry about that. Let me get down to the bill again. There's something I want to share with you about the crimes that they mentioned. Okay, so you might know that some immigrants do commit some crimes. Not many of y'all. Many of my clients do not have any criminal history, fortunately. But if you do, they're going to also include something called petty offense exception. So that means you have a particular crime that, depending on the number of days in jail, you could be qualified for petty offense exception. And that also means that you do not have to have it affect you for the ability to get this green card resident status through the Citizenship and Essential Workers. Okay. So I was mentioning earlier, the other thing I want to mention for you is that, this also includes people who were laid off. Even if they weren't working during the entire time during the pandemic with this type of occupation or job title, it's okay. As long as you have been, it says here that you have earned income in any sector, industry, or the occupation on any date during the period, which I haven't found what the period is, but after that, if you've been laid off and you've been seeking to find a job in that same sector, industry, or occupation, then that's okay. All right, so let's see here. Okay, it also says if you've had a parent, or if you are the surviving parent, this is a big one here. If you are the surviving parent, spouse, son or daughter of an immigrant, of another immigrant who was working in this sector, sector, industry, occupation, and that person, that family member passed away due to COVID-19, then you can also qualify to become a resident. That is a big one, friends. So that's why I think it can include more than 5 million, an estimated 5 million people. Okay, let's see here. So that's really good. And it appears that you yourself, as a surviving parent, spouse, son, or daughter, do not have to. Okay, yeah, you do have to work in that sector, industry, or occupation as well. Or the other way is if you're a parent, spouse, son, or daughter of a member of the armed forces, including the National Guard. I don't know why they have to say including National Guard. You would think it's included anyway. But you can also obtain a obtain resident status, a green card. Okay. So again, this is not straight to become a citizen. This is a proposal. Again, disclaimer: this is only a proposal. Nothing has been passed yet. All right. So please know that. And people ask all the time, what is the potential cutoff date? As mentioned before in previous live shows and videos, it's a January 1st, 2021. Now, if I were a conservative or Republican, I would think that if they're going to push back on something, it would probably be this January 1st, 2021 date, the cutoff date. Because if you entered in January 2nd, 2021, then you wouldn't qualify. So that's my best guess on if they're really paying attention on this. But they're not. Republicans are not. They don't care, unfortunately. So that's why Congress, Democrats need to do this through the reconciliation pathway, okay, where they don't need 60 senators to vote for this, because we do have some comments asking about that. Sorry, I'm not trying to skip over y'all, but let me get through some of these comments. Babatunde, thanks for commenting again. I appreciate it. Yes, I do hope it will be passed soon in time. I do think in terms of timing, the earliest I think could be August. You know, they're trying to include this possibly in part of the infrastructure bill, you know, that President Biden is including, honestly, a lot of things in it. So we'll see how it goes. And like, for example, climate change and for racial equity, which is very important as well. Sam, I see that, yeah, you had a lot of drivers without quit, and now you drive yourself. I'm sorry that you've had that situation. Sounds like probably because of, you know, pandemic, of course, but who knows, maybe because of unemployment checks. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword there. You definitely want people to have the benefit of an unemployment check, but then if it's more than what they would get paid at a job, then, you know, they got to do best for their situation. Rashid, yeah, that's another $1 million question. Any chance the bill passing reconciliation? Look, I don't know right now, but, you know, they're all pointing fingers at the moderate Democrats, and that is the X factor. Okay, that's Senator Manchin out of West Virginia. So we'll see how that goes. That would be great. Alvin, I know you've been asking this question. I don't have personally an update about this, DV 2021. That's not the purpose of this video. But please fill out the intake form. I don't think you have yet. I've been asking you. Otherwise, we intended to make a video for you on that. But we have a lot of videos slotted before the DVs. But we do have a plan to get a video out about that. But if you want faster response on that, please fill out the intake form. You can find it in the description below. Hey, Tommy. Sorry, it's kind of slow to load up. Okay, hey, Tommy. You're welcome. Happy to share some news here. Hey, friends, let us know where you're watching from. I always think it's interesting. And I recognize some of the names here. Appreciate y'all subscribing and clicking on. If you're new, thank you for watching. Click on the notification bell so you get all the future updates. I appreciate it. Okay, Tommy, back to your question. Is convenience store cashier considered essential worker? You had COVID while working in March 2020. I'm sorry to hear that. Hope you're doing better. Let's see here. I'm not sure that I saw that, but I'll check again. But I did want to show something else, looking more into the text of the bill. They do mention that they could waive any what they call brief, casual, and innocent absence from America, because, of course, in general, you have to show that you've been maintaining your status, okay, since for a period of time. Let's say any absence for more than 180 days. It says shall not be considered brief. Okay, so yeah, it's basically if it's less than 180 days, then that's fine. But if it's more than 180 days, they do allow an exception if a family member that's on this list had an illness. serious illness or death. And also it mentions or because of due to international travel restrictions. Hey, but that makes sense, right? Because during this pandemic, there was the travel ban that President Trump had, and now President Biden has for a few countries, including India right now. So that kind of gives you an idea. Another thing here I want to show you is, Tommy, I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to look again in a second, but since I have this on the screen, I want to share it with y'all. So it mentions, which criminal offenses can be excluded from this that won't affect you. It does mention an immigrant, don't like to call alien, an immigrant shall be ineligible, so not eligible for status under the section if you have been convicted of a felony, excluding any offense under state law for which an essential element is related to the immigration status, or if you've been convicted of 3 or more misdemeanor offenses, excluding, look, this is a big one, friends, excluding a simple possession of cannabis or cannabis-related paraphernalia. Look, they're really cutting a big break here because federal law right now with dealing with marijuana, there's all these what do you call like CBD or marijuana shops all across the country because most state laws now allow it, whether for medical purposes or for just, I guess you call pleasure purposes. But still, federal law still prohibits cannabis. So this is a big step if they're going to include this as an exception. So that's great. That's wonderful, wonderful news. Okay. So there's a lot more. It'd be really difficult to go through the entire proposal here. But, if you're wondering what it's all about, if you're eligible or not, it's really still early to talk about that if you're eligible. But hey, we're happy to still speak with you. Our CARES team will get in touch with you about that. Okay, because I know we do get a lot of calls to see if you're eligible. We're really hesitant to say that because it's only a proposal. Okay, Tommy, I am back on the list for the occupations here. Let's see what convenience store could be included under home. Let's see, because this was pretty expansive in general. It could maybe fall under letter D here: restaurant ownership, food preparation, vending, catering, food packaging, food services, or delivery. That's possible. Okay, hotel or retail. There we go. I would say convenient stores would fall under retail the best. Okay. So hopefully that helps you out, Tommy. All right. Hi, Sam. I think I recognize your name too. I think any chance passes. Yeah, I kind of mentioned that earlier. I think August at the earliest. I think there's a chance. Hey, Chef, thanks for tuning in. Any updates on spouse F2A? I think you did fill the intake form. Let's set up a time, Chef Tejas, because we need to chat with you about yours specifically, see how long you've been waiting. I'll check the notes on that and we'll send you an email. Okay, Chef? Hey, Sam. You entered the U.S. without documents in 2003, got married and divorced in 2017. Okay, and now you have 3 kids in the U.S. You have 3 kids in the U.S. Congratulations on that. We have another one expecting in a month or so. Let's see, a boy. We got a girl right now, 2 years old. You got 3. Do you have a 10-year bar? Did you actually leave America? Even though you entered America without status, without a visa in 2003, does it not automatically mean that you have a 10-year bar? It only triggers, okay, when you leave the U.S. If you were to leave, of course, I suggest you do not leave. But if you were to leave, then that would trigger the 10-year restriction. Can you still be eligible for any green card? So right now, with a Citizenship for Essential Workers proposal, it does mention that they want to include that waiver of the 10-year restriction. And it even looks like you might not even have to apply for the waiver at all. You might have to, but we'll see. We'll see what they include. That would just save you a lot of time and money, honestly, if they do that. Okay, Sam? But hopefully you have not actually left America. All right? Because that would then that would definitely require a waiver application. Okay, I don't know how old your kids are, Sam, but once they become, you might know this already, but if one of your kids become 21 first, then they can apply for you, all right? But we do have to solve that waiver part, because right now, 601A form, you're allowed to file for that while you're in the United States, but that one does not include children as the qualifying relative, basically like a sponsor. But if you're outside the US, then you can file a different form, very similar, of a 601, and that does include children, US citizen or resident children as a qualifying relative. So I don't know why they do it set differently like that. It's kind of ridiculous, but they need to update that for the 601A. All right, Tommy. Well, I appreciate it. You're welcome. Well, this covers it for today. There's a lot we could go more into in the text, but we'll save that for another video. Stay tuned to our channel, okay, friends? And if you're new to our channel and you don't know this, we do offer a free 15-minute preliminary discussion. Sometimes you may not have one or two questions. We can just try to point you in the right direction. Sometimes it might not even require me or my legal team to actually look at it. Our legal staff, our team, client advocate, our CARES team are able to assist you. Of course, if it comes down to legal advice, then it does require to speak with our legal team. So it doesn't always include, it's not always me. Sometimes it'll be one of our other attorneys. So, but hey, sometimes I'm free and I'm able to take on the consultation. So if you would like to take advantage of that, please provide this not so secret code, Green Card Guys, and share that with our CARES team. They'll set you up for a free 15 minutes, whether it's with themselves or with one of our attorneys, okay? We greatly appreciate it. But if you do think you need probably 30 minutes to 45 minutes, you can schedule an appointment here on this website. We do have the link in the description below. And welcome to tune in, or welcome to self-schedule for a fee. You have to pay a fee for more time, okay? Also, you're welcome to, if you're abroad outside America, you're welcome to connect with us on WhatsApp, and we're happy to help you, okay, friends? Until next time, please continue wearing a mask. Stay safe.